Hey everybody, it's Jen. I am coming in to see you guys and talk to you about the Q&A that we had. So I'm going to be looking this way so that I can read from my computer, but I'm going to be answering all the questions. I want to do a little housekeeping really quick first. So for those of you that are in this private group, this is Spiritual Living with Jennifer. This used to be Embodied Grace Community. I still have both in the title because originally that was my work, was Embodied Grace, but I feel like it's Spiritual Living seems to catch it all a little bit better right now. So really quickly in the group, go in at the top. I posted this to the featured image and choose what you want for the next masterclass, because I'm going to be doing master classes. Don't forget, if you want to have those master classes, you either need to be in Ascension Club or you need to be in the masterclass group. The masterclass group is free, but it's only up for about half the month. After I have the master class, it's up to the end of the month. You can ask questions through the time that it's there, and then after that, it goes into membership only. Don't forget, you can join the membership for only $8.88 a month. So $8 gets you all of the replays and all of the master classes that I do. So if you need the link for Ascension Club, let me know and I will get that to you. But go in at the top of this group that I'm in right now is Spiritual Living. Go up to the top in the featured and vote on what you want for the next master class. Also, watch for these things because I posted, hey, I'm going to be going for a live Q&A, drop all your questions. So I'm going to try to answer all of the questions that I've gotten here now. I hope that I understand all of them. But anyway, watch the group for stuff like that. The other thing is I would highly suggest getting on my email list. I don't send out an email list very regularly. I need to get better about that. But things on social media, you guys know, is really bizarre and crazy. Like 3 events in the last 2 weeks that I was trying to get on through a Facebook event, but it had a Zoom link and they were blocking it. So not only can we not go live from Zoom to Facebook anymore, now we can't even hardly get the link. Like it was a mess. And she was trying to send it even through Messenger and they were like, nope, denied. They were not letting us in. So please get on my email list if you want to continue to get information from me, just in case, because we never know what's going to happen, right? Shoot. And it says I was gone. Hopefully that still kept going while I was talking, but I noticed it dropped out for just a minute. Okay, so the questions that I have, and the tag I put was Ask Me Anything. I'll drop another one of these in for a new, fresh, set of questions. But I know you guys, sometimes with the spiritual stuff, I want to just reiterate again on the housekeeping side of things, everything in this group is private. Nobody can see what you post except for people that are in the group. And I did that on purpose from the very beginning because some of these questions are a little bit wonky, right? There's a lot of weird stuff around spirituality. There's that religiosity that I posted about. That's happening right now, so be aware of that. And you guys, that's religiosity and everything, not just like in religion, but I'm seeing it like people that are vegan are like, you have to be vegan or you're awful, or you have to be, whatever, you have to be this, you have to be that, you have to be whatever. Like it's across the board. There's like a religiosity around the way we live and there's judgment on the other side of that. So be very careful about that. But again, that's why I made this group private and why our discussions are private, right? Okay, so here's the questions that I have. The first one is, I keep having these odd flashes of what feels almost like shifting energy, but I'm not sure what it is or what I'm really being a part of. Any ideas? So it's not that you're really quote unquote being a part of anything. The experience that we're having right now is becoming multidimensional. Now, again, in the Ascension Club membership, we have talked about this. So if you were in the club, you would be already prepared for this. But what's happening is we're kind of getting this overlapping multidimensionality, and the different dimensions are kind of blurring, or almost shifting. And sometimes it's like you can see 2 dimensions at once. And the other things that we've talked about in the group is like looking at something and all of a sudden it looks pixelated or like it's not solid. There's some overlaps in dimensions right now, and that's part of the multidimensionality. Now, as we go through Ascension, as we start becoming aware of more things, those of us that are spiritually awake probably going to have a chance of being able to see things like this. So I see a few people on. Would somebody give me a thumbs up and just let me know? Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were hearing me and that everything's good and the audio is good. So the multidimensionality and the odd flashes of the shifting energy, I would say what I've been doing personally and what I've been talking about in the Ascension Club membership is set the intention when you get up every morning, when you go to bed every night, set the intention, I am aligning with the highest and best divine life path. I am aligning with the highest and best divine dimension. Like however you want to do that, but basically you want to set the intention for yourself that you are setting the intention that you're aligning with the highest and best that's available to you. Okay. Again, you guys, there's been some weird glitches in the matrix, we'll call it, because there's some weird things that have been happening. So if you've noticed, those of you guys that have been on this path for a while, you've probably seen this where people talk about the Mandela effect, where things change and shift. And it seems like there's certain timelines where this happens, and whatever happened with the eclipse, it's created more of that. So usually the basic examples are like the Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain Bears, right? Or the fruit of the loom with only the fruit, or with the cornucopia. Like there's some things like this. And it's really interesting to me that a lot of the spiritual people have the same memory, but the other people are like, no, it was never like that, right? Like there's all these different examples. That would be a whole totally different tangent that we could get on, but we could go there if you guys want to. But I'm going to try to stick to the questions. So I hope that answers that question of the flashes or feeling like you're shifting in energy. It could also be flash it, like, so the other thing that happens is when your angels and guides are trying to get your attention, if you're not paying attention to them, or if you're not used to communicating with them, sometimes you'll get a flash out of like the peripheral vision, but when you look, there's nothing there. So it could be flashes like that as well. Usually that's angelic or elemental if you get like a glimmery flash. So that's that first question. So I'm going to mark that as yes, I have responded to that one. The next one is, what the heck with this energy? I'm trying to settle down, calm it, remove it, move it, clear it, right? So what the heck with this energy? Okay, again, you guys, in the Ascension Club membership, we have been talking about this. We've been preparing for this for a few years because we knew this was coming. We knew that it was going to be a time of awakening, of enlightenment. And again, ascension just means understanding higher levels, like moving to the next level, right? So I feel like I'm beating a dead horse when I say this because I've talked about it so many times. We have to be regulating our nervous system. Everything that we're feeling is, oops, sorry about that. The energy coming in is high vibrational energy from the way the planets are moving, right? The impact of the magnetic force that our solar system has. That's one of the things. The other thing that's happening is the neutrinos, the energy particles of where we're moving through the galaxy. That is bringing in higher frequency. The solar flares are at maximum. Like that is bringing in higher energy. There's all of these different things that we are literally experiencing higher energy than we had before. Higher electricity, higher geomagnetics, all of those things. Our nervous system is critical, right? We have to be regulating our nervous system. And I've been saying this for ages, you guys. It's like moving to a new elevation. We just have to get ready, or we just have to get adapted and used to this new frequency. If you're still trying to live in the hurry, go do a million things at once, trying to live 3D, you're going to short circuit. You're going to literally burn out because what the heck is this energy? How do I fix it? You can't. It's not a fixing it. It's learning to adapt to it, learning how to function in this new altitude, so to speak, right? Like I know it's energetic and it's not necessarily an altitude shift, but it's very similar. And again, we've talked about this a lot in the Ascension Club membership. So, if you haven't been plugged in very much to the Ascension Club membership, be sure to remember the basics. And one of the things I've talked about is nervous system regulation. You've got to learn how to calm your nervous system so that you can be ready for this energy. And I don't want to scare anyone and I don't want to freak anybody out. And this is not about being like fear mongering. This is just the way it is. Like the energy that we're going to experience as human beings is going to be different because the geomagnetics are changing. Plain and simple. So the best and most like common way that I can explain it is if you've lived at sea level your entire life, if you move up to the mountains of Colorado at 14,000 feet, your body is going to be in freak out mode. Like it takes a lot of different oxygen level. So it's the same idea of moving to a new elevation. Although we're not really moving to an elevation, there's an energy shift that feels like a different frequency. And so the energy that we're feeling the way that we are operating on this planet, the way that we physically feel on this planet has gone through a shift. You've got to allow yourself to adapt. So one of the things that we're seeing in the membership is people are switching, like the supplements they've used forever don't work anymore. They've had to go to liquid minerals instead of regular minerals. Water on its own is not enough anymore. They're having to do like the Himalayan sea salt or something to zhuzh up their water to give them the energy that they need. So there's all of these things that are going on, like, and as long as you're going, what the heck is going on? It's kind of like, we've got to shift out of victim mode and be like, okay, this is the energy. Now what can I do to support myself in it? Okay. Hopefully that is helpful. Again, trying to settle it down. As long as you're doing nervous system regulation, breathing is the quickest, the fastest, the easiest, and very good minerals. Again, you guys, I talk about Nature's Sunshine. The mineral Chi Tonic is my favorite right now. It just is. So that and Soul Stick Revive. There's 2 products there that I absolutely love. If you want info on those, definitely let me know. No pressure to buy it, whatever. Of course, I love them. I think it's the best stuff ever. So if you want the information, I can give that to you, but just make sure you're taking a good mineral supplement. I feel like is more important than anything right now, the mineral supplement. Okay, so there's that one. Let me find the next question. I'm around a lot of negativity daily. I'm trying to use cleansing spray or sage or whatever, but I feel the further I get into this, the more I'm going to pick it up. So that, again, we have to be in a space of understanding the energy and the way we feel things, right? So hi, everybody. I see new people coming in. I am just going over the Q&A that was in the group. So again, you guys, one of the things we have to get over is this, I hate to call it victim mentality because it's not necessarily that you're being a victim. So there needs to be a different word for this, but we've got to shift out of those old paradigms of feeling like we're a victim to whatever's happening, right? So again, the negativity is there. Like, it is just part of the people. There's a lot of people that have not done any self-work, any growth, any spiritual work, anything like that. And they're probably never going to. So it's not really about them. It's about us. It's how do we learn to then deal with the negativity? I love sage. I love sprays. I love anything that you can do. I can't show you my phone because I'm streaming from my phone, but like the electromagnetic, there's like a little thing, it's a patch that you can put on your phone to help with the EMF energy from your devices, right? That would be something that would be helpful. Definitely, if you're feeling that, bubble yourself up. Again, just be like, okay, I need to clear the energy. I'm going to set myself in a sacred space and know that whatever's going on around me is not my circus, not my monkeys. That energy can stay out there. I don't have to take that in. Okay. So if you're feeling that, I totally understand it, but also, do the energy practices. Again, in Ascension Club membership, I have so many meditations that will do energy healing, chakra balancing. Every meditation that I have in the membership is infused with angelic frequency for healing. So those meditations alone are so powerful. And I think there's like 57, something like that, 58 meditations that are available to you if you're a member. Again, you can get started very low cost. $8 gets you started on the Ascension Club with the dynamic exchange. And that's where a lot of that is. Now, if you want to be in the membership where you get access to me and you get on the live calls with me, that's the one you want to go to the middle tier, which is the full on, like, this is the Ascension Club. You get all the club membership perks. And then if you want to go higher to the VIP level, you can get a monthly call with me private every month. So check out the Ascension Club membership. Let's see. I'm inconsistent. Yeah, inconsistency. Don't beat yourself up for it. Just try to be consistent whenever you're working with this stuff. Okay. So because I'm newer to all of this, I worry about the dark stuff. I only say that because I don't know how to thwart a lot of it off. I've been attacked a few times now that I can recall in my sleep. Is there a way for me to get rid of that stuff? Okay. If you feel like you're being attacked in your sleep, a lot of times what I notice is it's not that you're actually being attacked in your sleep. Now, I'm not saying that it can't happen because there's a whole big thing about astral travel and spiritual work at night. But if you're new to this, that's may not necessarily be what's happening. If you're new to this, 90% of the time, it's whatever fears are in the back of your mind. And maybe because you're sleeping, your guides are trying to get your attention. And then you think you're being attacked because you're asleep and your fear kind of amps up, right? Because we've been taught, oh my God, this is all dark, right? Now, that being said, sometimes there is darkness. And when there's darkness, the only thing you have to do is call on the highest and best divine love and light and cast out the darkness. Like, literally, I don't have time for this. I do not accept anything less than the highest and best divine love and light. Plain and simple, right? You can call in Jesus. You can say, I want Jesus and the angels, Yeshua, whatever that is to you. I know there's a lot of different terminology. Like, people get so hung up on if it's Jesus or if it's Yeshua. I feel like when you tap into the energy that is Christ, the Christ consciousness is not going to get hung up on if you call him correctly by the right name, right? So again, if you're highest and best love and light, the Christ consciousness, that energy, that frequency will be protective for you. So if you need that protective energy, call that in. But I do feel like sometimes it's misunderstood energy, because if you are intuitive or psychic or clairaudient or clairvoyant or whatever it is, and you happen to see things when you're sleeping, it's a little bit more creepy when you're asleep, just because you're trying to sleep and you're not really tapped into what's going on, and our subconscious fears can then kind of overrun what's going on. But also within that, worrying about the dark will actually start to come in, because it's the fear, right? The fear energy is what aligns with that. So if you set the intention, I'm getting notifications that my connection's messed up. Are you guys still seeing me okay? If it's good, I'm gonna try. Okay. Are we still there? Can somebody give me a thumbs up? Let me know if we still are connected. Anybody? Are we still connected? Gotta love technology. Are we still here, guys? Are we live, or did we lose it? Can somebody give me a thumbs up? Let me know if it's live or not. I apologize, you guys. Oh, I just saw somebody say, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so again, as far as being afraid of it, the fear is actually kind of what will, because everything's vibrational, right? So if you're vibrating at love and light and all the highest and best, there's no room for this fear and the darkness. And the dark, to be totally honest, the darkness is bored with it, unless it can get the fear going, because if it can get the fear going, then it pulls you off track, and then you're going to be able to be manipulated by the darkness. So be very careful with that, like when you're aligning with the highest and best. But if you need the protection, if you feel like you need the protection, again, I think in this group I have like how to bubble your energy. Go look at that video, listen to that video, bring in divine love and light, and then imagine it going fully through your body, from your head all the way down to your toes. Connect down to the earth, right? Like, be like, okay, I'm on this planet, I'm with Mother Earth. Bring that energy back up, and then from your heart, expand it and put yourself in a bubble. And if you do that, that will help you stay, again, that's giving you that bubble of protection. I like to put like pink light, because pink is compassion. You could put green, which is healing and love. Whatever color feels good to you, but bubble yourself in that energy. And then set the intention and set the boundary. I'm sleeping. Spirit can leave me alone, period. Like, again, it's about not being a victim of this stuff, right? Part of the reason, you guys, I'm seeing somebody else that says freaky stuff happens when I'm sleeping too. Part of the reason that it happens when you're sleeping is because you're not able to like cut it out or ignore it as well as when you're awake. It's not necessarily that it's something negative or creepy happening when you're falling asleep. It's just that when you're starting to relax, that's when the other dimensions are. When you're awake, it's easier to be like, nope, I don't see anything. I'm blocking all of that out, right? Whereas when you're starting to relax, you don't block, like it doesn't block out the same way. So I hope that makes sense. Again, seeing the shadows in the peripheral vision, that is literally because I know this person. I know she can see, like she has the gift of sight to see other beings, other dimensions, things like that. When you see that movement, it's just like because you're trying to not really see it, but you're seeing it anyway. So when you see quote unquote shadows or movement, generally that is your psychic sight being shown to you, activated. But again, if you're trying to pretend like you don't have those gifts, it's going to be, you're going to be trying to block it out. So it's going to feel more shadowy and more dark. Okay. Okay. I have one more question, and it says, my guides will tell you that my questions are an infinite discourse, like a 3-year-old asking why. I love the why game. I've actually, in some of my programs that I've done, some of my coaching programs, I've said, let's ask the why game, because when you're trying to get to the core of what a limiting belief or like a trauma or a wounding or something like that, sometimes if you don't give yourself an answer to think about it, or an opportunity to think about it, and you just keep asking why, it'll come out, like it'll get to the root of it. So I love the why game. That's really not what she's talking about here, but I thought that was a fun thing to add. What teachings besides Christianity contributed to your spiritual journey? So for me, Christianity is the spiritual piece, the religious piece that I have. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. I believe in Christ consciousness. And I believe in astrology too, which is kind of funny because you guys know, I mean, where's my book? Christian Psychic, right? Like we know, we've already talked about this. I don't know where it's at. But so my book, The Secret Experiences of a Closet Psychic, is because I was Christian. And in the beginning, I had to figure out how to balance that, right? Now, my story is from, I grew up with this, didn't know anything was wrong with it. My family all kind of knew. And then at about 14 was when I shut it down because of a youth group that kind of got me off kilter, right? It was in my late 20s. Obviously, the gift never went away, but I tried to pretend like it wasn't there. It gave me a lot of anxiety. And then I finally just embraced it and said, okay, look, I can't hide it anymore. Everybody that knew me was like, yeah, obviously. And I think even my husband was like, well, duh. Like, what? Duh, what do you think? You don't think any of us knew you had these intuitive abilities? You didn't know, like, they knew I was psychic all along. I was the one trying to hide it, right? So what's funny about that is I've always felt, even when I was trying to block it out, I've always felt God didn't just throw us down here and say, peace out, good luck. You know what I mean? Like, so I really feel like the Bible is a manual. Like, here's some really good ideas of how you can live your life. I will say I don't think it's 100% accurate, because I know that human, not just men in general, but humankind has kind of messed with the technology they've added, or the scripts. They've added dogma. They've added religion. They've added rules, right? So like, it's been tweaked a little bit. But I also feel like it's a very good book with some history to it. And I think part of the reason it's called the living word is because you've got to read it and figure out what it means to you. And I can guarantee you a verse that you read 5 years ago is not going to mean the same thing to you now if you read the same verse today. So it grows and evolves with you. You understand it deeper the more you dive into it, right? Now, I will say I also believe in the Apocrypha, which is not part of the Bible that we usually have, right? So there's some other scripture out there that isn't a part of what we know as the Bible right now. On top of that, I believe in astrology. And if you go back into history way before the 1500s, when our Bible, and into the 1800s, when what we have now today, right? So you've got to know a little bit of the history behind it, but then you've also got to know that doesn't change my God. Like, that does not change God to me. That does not change my God, right? And the celestial beings that I work with, like, to them, God is the source of all that is. There's no question that love and light and highest and best, and like, there's no question. Human experience is the only place that we really get the darkness that we see and that we experience is mostly in this human experience, right? So all of that to be said, the teachings that I have are literally what I've learned through astrology teaching, the background that I have, the books that I've read, which I wouldn't say that I have any religious texts that I've dove into other than the Bible, the Apocrypha, some things like that. Honestly, I know a lot of people talk about the Course in Miracles. There's something about that does not resonate with me. I have never read it. I just don't feel called to it. And everything else I've learned literally from my guides. And so a lot of what I teach comes directly from my guidance, from the celestials that I work with. And again, for those of you that are kind of new to my world, I work with mostly the angelic realm. So Jesus and the angels, Christ consciousness, Saint Germain, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. Those are the energies that come through. But I also have celestial beings. I have Pleiadians that I've dealt with before, that I've gotten messages from before. I worked with the Arcturians, which is it's a very clean, it's a very pristine, clean, high vibration energy. So the celestial beings that I work with, but when you ask about God, they're like source of all that is. Like there's no question. I think humans are the only ones that question it, right? So that and astrology are basically the teachings that I have are from spirit directly, from what I've learned in the Bible, and then what I've channeled myself and what I know about astrology. And again, the reason I believe in astrology is because I feel like the Bible is a manual and the stars are a map. And again, I don't think God would just be like, good luck, right? Like the stars have meant so much to so many people throughout humanity. I don't feel like they can just be written off as nothing, because they do affect us, right? Like ask any farmer about the moon and how it affects the animals. I can guarantee you it affects our life on the planet. So I hope that answers that question about the teachings besides Christianity. To be totally honest, a lot of the books I've read are not spiritual. They're more about mindset, healthy boundaries, healthy living, like things like that are really what helped me as a person grow. But as far as spiritual, it's been mostly downloads and channeled directly from my guides. So I hope that answers a lot of the questions today, you guys. I want to try to get back in the habit. I know I used to do these and I got out of the habit, but I'm excited about coming back in to do these. So I hope you're enjoying them. Again, I will try to make sure and do a new post like this every so often, but I'll try to make sure I get to all of the questions. So thanks so much. That's it for today, and I will talk to everybody soon.